new belts, $24. Fuck that. And then I would just go and spend money at a bar.
24.
I've also realized on these podcasts that I do with you, I'm extremely quiet. Like just my, and I'm like, I think it's your mics, but I don't know why I'm so soft spoken on these podcasts. We are so close together right now.
Yeah, dude, the couch is very intimate. Yeah. It's like one of those couches that's old, so you sink toward the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna end up like on top of each other at the end of the pod.
God. Who else have you shot with here? Max and who
Sorich and Cody Simonello.
else? Oh wow.
On the and then we'll get to you being roofied. On the topic of you like not wanting to spend $24 on a belt, but then on booze and stuff, you'll do that in like a night.
Yeah.
My book that I wrote, that's $20. When I was writing it, everybody was like, "Oh, dude, I'll totally get your book." And then I came out with it, and it was $20, and people would be like, "That's a bit." Wait, dude, you've done that. I just realized you haven't gotten it.
I was
Yeah,
like,
but everybody,
shit.
people I know, they would be like, "Oh, dude, that's I'm just like tight on money right now." And then we'd
Yeah.
go out, and they'd be like, "You want a beer?" And I'd be like,
Yeah, you're like,
"Motherfucker."
you can actually buy my book. That does suck when, yeah. I mean, I do that all the time. Where like yesterday, someone was telling me to go to their stand-up show, and like the tickets were $20, and it was to like support them.
I mean, if they're a comic,
Yeah.
and you have to pay to get in,
They gave me a discount code, so I got in for free. But I was still like,
that's a big discount.
I was like, they were like hovering over me, and I was like, I'm gonna have to buy this ticket in front of her. And then they gave me the discount code, and I was like, all right, nice. But yeah, I would have
All of a sudden,
purchased
I'm
it.
extremely supportive.
Yeah.
Now that
Yeah.
it's free,
I'm
I'm your
fucking
biggest
definitely
fan.
going, yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I don't even. I mean, I won't even go to like birthdays, anything. If it's at like, I hate when people are like, yo, it's this and this person's birthday. We're going to like a bowling alley.
Mm-hmm.
I already don't want to go because like now I have to spend money. You know what I mean? Like I like when it's just someone's house, or
This is how I feel about going out in general.
yeah,
Let's just rendezvous at
Yeah.
someone's apartment, and we'll
Yeah.
have drinks that we got from Costco,
yeah, right,
and we'll just get hammered there.
dude. Birthday dinners are the worst. I've made a rule that I'm no longer going to birthday dinners.
Birth.
What am I saying? Birth?
You
Birthday?
said birthday like 4 times, and I was gonna let it slide, but then
I
was like,
I saw
"You're
your face.
You're an engineer."
You were like, I saw your face, like, like focusing in on something, and I was like, birth.
Birthday. But what were you saying about birthday?
I don't
dinners?
enunciate.
That's-
It
well.
doesn't. People hit me with that a lot, where I'm like, I don't think. And this is not. I'm not. I hate when people go, like, you know, when you do something and then. I remember one time I asked like my roommate, I was like, "Are you a vegan?" And he was like, "I hate when people just like ask me this type of stuff." And I was like, "Are you referring to me right now in the third person?" Like,
Yeah, he is. He's subtweeting you in front of you.
yeah, he'd be like, I hate when people always try to put a label on things. And I was like, I'm people. Why don't you just say?
Yeah.
Why don't you just talk to me? But no, this has
You
happened
could've- yeah.
multiple times where someone will like point out something that I'm doing and then be like, I don't know how you're an engineer. And I don't think many people know what. I think they just assume you're smart, or I don't know.
I have no idea. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you like drive around in trucks with a laptop, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I've talked about this many times, but I know what a firefighter does. I know what a cop is supposed to do, and I know what like vaguely like what an astronaut is supposed to do.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Past
Yeah.
that, every job is sort of fuzzy and
Right.
in between.
You don't really know what the job description entails. Yeah, but I mean, yeah. In your defense, yeah, an engineer should know a basic say words.
I was yeah, you should.
Yeah.
I guess that's not entirely necessary, but I was writing on my joke about underdogs yesterday,
No.
and I was writing about how like I'm a white guy and I make under 30K a year.
Whoa.
That's just like I blew the lead. My entire
Yeah.
life is a blown lead, and then I was
Yeah.
like, my friend, is like a parent of immigrants. First generation. He makes 3 times as much as me, and he's better than me at comedy. Like he's an underdog on paper. It's like I fucking hate that. I hate that.
Yeah.
Fucking underdog's tale.
Yeah.
What
It
about
is-
the guy who's sort of expected to do well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you truly should not be in the situation that you're in.
Yeah, I'm pretty
you
retarded.
you like you did it all on your own.
But I'm just in. I'm in.
That's a statement you could say. You're
Well,
either
that is
super
part of it,
rich
yeah.
or super poor. Like I did this all by myself.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I was gonna say like like the whole thing of like underdogs is like they overcome like incredible odds. It's like I've overcome incredible odds in the other way. Like the
Yeah.
odds were hugely favorable of me doing well in life,
That's a
and
great
I
bit,
just
yeah.
shattered expectations.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
obliterated any expectations.
Yeah, you were an underdog in the sense that people didn't think you were going to be poor.
People were like, "There's no way he does this bad."
Yeah.
And I was like, "You just watch,
Yeah,
dude.
hold my drink. Yeah,
Hold
that
my
is
climbing chalk. Hold my guitar."
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. You're in like I don't know. There's like like having money is a responsibility. Like you, I kind like
Sound like your dad? You
having
keep giving your dad more responsibility, dude.
dude. Yeah.
I keep lending my father more and more responsibility.
I'm gonna write that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like having money is a responsibility, and having a job, a good job, is a responsibility, and it's exhausting sometimes. Like it is a shitty thing to be like it's exhausting, like, but it is hard to. All right, I don't know how to phrase this in not like a bad way, saying it's exhausting to have money, but it's not exhausting to have money. It's exhausting to like.
Just like pat yourself with $200 bills. Just like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so exhausting.
Well, no,
I'm so rich that it hurts.
here's the thing: when you like, I know other people in my position that have like the same job as me, but they don't have good savings.
Mm-hmm.
And saving money, the reason I have like savings or whatever, it's like a responsibility to know how to like manage your money and stuff like that. That's the exhausting part. Is
Mm-hmm.
budgeting is exhausting.
Yeah, that's why I don't do it.
Yeah. So then when I see
So
people,
exhausting.
when I see people that just have like no savings, I'm like, it is kind of like I don't know. I can't like me personally. Whenever there's vacation or something, I'm like hesitant because I'm like I have money that I need to be saving. Whatever. But like I feel like if I had,
But it's
I
also
don't
like
know,
it's
yeah.
like you're saving money to then like hopefully have like a good retirement. That's like the idea, but you're just having
Yeah.
like a pretty mediocre life all the way up until that.
Yeah.
And then when you get there, you're
yeah.
like, I made it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you
yeah.
could just have like a you could just have like a there could be Sam with the tattered belt
Yeah.
and then you retire
Yeah.
and you're happy, or
Yeah.
Sam with a good belt.
Yeah.
And he's a little happier the entire time and you can still
You're
retire.
right. Yeah. It's a great
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
But point being, you're in this period right now where you're working on comedy, and then you're also doing like freelance stuff. So maybe you might not have the best like job right now. You're not making the most money, but when an opportunity presents itself, you have that freedom of like not worrying about should I quit my job or not. Like me personally, whenever I get like a comedy opportunity, I'm always like I could lose my job if I
Yeah.
take this. you know?
Totally. And I like to be in a position where I'm very open to opportunities and then still get none. Still get absolutely none.
Yeah,
Be like,
yeah.
I'm so open.
Yeah, that is. Schedule's wide open, dude.
Yo, guys.
Yeah. Who said it? I feel like people have said before that it's like a good thing to like pretend that you're busy.
Hmm?
I
What does that
don't
mean?
know. Maybe I'm.
Oh, is it kind of like trying to play hard to get a little
yeah,
bit?
like
Yeah.
pretend that.
I should just start. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't necessarily do that. I'll just like get.
Just be out of breath all the time.
Yeah.
Like, fucked. I just came from 3
Yeah.
shows.
Right.
And but if you want to book me, I mean, I could squeeze it in maybe.
And they're good.
Yeah. I didn't
Oh,
post on my
man.
Instagram about it, but
Yeah, I don't know. I always like I cancel on meetings a bunch.
whoa.
And I've been meeting with higher up comedy people that you should be on time
Oh,
for.
I thought you
like,
meant at work, and I was like, no, this is important.
oh no,
Comedy,
yeah,
yes.
this is comedy stuff. I cancel on work all the time.
Oh.
I felt really bad because I canceled a comedy meeting just because I was like fucked up,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't think about it much. But then I woke up the next morning and I was like, I'm playing with like a life changing opportunity right now, but at the same time,
This really is the real you, though. Like, you cancel because you're fucked up, and like, that's so Sam. God, he's so good.
And then
He is a degenerate. He's just like his act. When I saw him, he was obliterated.
Yeah, like, that is kind of the thing.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes like that's what I'm like. Do they think it's just like a fucking joke? Like I'm like,
You're hungover in a meeting. They're like, "Fuck, you're authentic."
yeah, like, this is raw stand up, dude. Like this is my life. Yeah, so
Just like biting your lip.
it's like, yeah, that guy, the person on it's not a joke. It's not a bit. That's why like when I'm in these meetings and I'm like cursing up a storm, I feel bad. But then I'm like, no, this is a stand up thing, you know? Like they saw
There's
me
any
on
environment.
Yeah. I'm like, why is it only acceptable when I'm on stage? Like it should carry over to whatever because that's what you're buying.
Just depends on how you're cursing.
Yeah.
They can't like give you they can't like say something. You'd be like, "She."
She. Yeah, but I mean, it came off as playing hard to get, and I don't know. I kind of worked. That's what the guy was like. He was like playing a little hard, and I was like, no, I said it was like a word conflict.
I'm
But-
so bad at playing hard to get, dude. Especially with
Isn't
women
it
and the
hard?
situation I'm in
Yeah,
right now,
it's so hard, dude.
where if they text me, people are like, "You should just not reply, or you
Yeah.
should just wait," and I'll just be like, or I could send a GIF right now.
Yeah.
I could just let them know how desperate I am.
Right at this moment.
It's
yeah.
so unattractive to just be available.
Dude, people that wait to send text messages back, like they don't want to seem like they're like
Desperate.
Yeah, I mean, I think seeing like if you can see if they see the message, and you're like, I've been in positions where like someone will text me and it'll be like red, like they see it immediately,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of desperate.
You got caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like if you're waiting, like if you're giving it like 30 minutes to send a text back, I think that's actually super unhealthy. I think you have an issue if you do that.
Well, yeah, you're just overthinking it.
Yeah.
See, so what I do is I'll just text back as soon as I get it
Yeah.
normally,
Yeah.
and then I'm kind of just like, see, nothing to be afraid of. Let's not
Right.
play these little games.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Let's
yeah.
just
yeah.
let's
Ease
just
into this. Yeah.
get this out of the way.
Yeah. I don't know. But I mean, you ever just get it like, dude, compliments, like, they're so, like, you would think.
Uncomfortable?
No. That, like, they make you fold so easily. Like, if someone just, like, I don't know, I hadn't been complimented in a while, and I got complimented recently.
By who?
It was by a guy. It was,
Okay.
This is pretty funny. I was just talking to somebody about this. I was like talking to a guy, and he just hit me with like a fuck ton of compliments. Like he was like,
Rapid fire.
yeah, rapid fire compliments, and I was just saying thank you to all of them.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
was like, thanks, yeah,
Thank
thank you, man. And he was like, you know, like you look good and stuff like that. And then I just said you look good too.
There is the pressure to throw it back, though. I
just
I
said-
totally get that.
And I was like, is this how being gay happens? I was like, are we gonna have sex after this?
He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, I just didn't know what to say, so I was like, you look good too, man. I was like, all right.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I hadn't being complimented is such like I mean, you think you have the willpower to say no to people, and I was put in a situation where I was supposed to say no to something, and I was like, yeah, definitely, I'm gonna say no. Yeah, of course, yeah, no problem. And then they just complimented me like 3 times, and I was like, team.
I completely relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you think that about me?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Oh my god, these people are.
If you were getting interrogated, you'd break so easily.
Oh, if they just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, that would.
Instead of torturing you, they'd just be like, "You're so good at comedy, dude." They'd be like, "I'll tell you anything."
I'll tell you everything you need to know. Yeah, last night was rough.
Yeah. So you got roofied?
All right, I don't know if I got roofied, but
Let's go through it, dude.
okay. All right, let's go through it. So
I don't know anything about this. This is very exciting.
I probably look fat in this. Just fucking.
No,
My
just in
posture's
general.
terrible. All right, let's talk about it. So I went to. Someone looking in there?
No.
Oh, what'd you just do?
I was just waving at a woman.
that wasn't looking at you at all.
Just
Oh.
in case she turned. All right, go ahead. The human eye is like tracked. Is like the human eye is good at sensing
That's like
movement.
that's like them seeing you see their message immediately. They turn around, and you're already waving at them.
Dude, that's wild. Yeah. They're like me, and you're like,
Yeah.
All right, but go ahead.
Um.
Last night.
Yeah. So last night I went to and oh fuck, I already fucked up. Shouldn't have bleep that out.
I was really hoping for an episode that I could just throw up. But
just
That's
bleep that
fine.
one part
That's
out. I don't
fine.
want to. I don't want to name spots or people.
15 minutes in. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So.
So you're at
Oh my God.
15 and a half.
Just bleep it out.
Okay.
I don't want any. That could affect bookings and stuff, you know.
Mhm.
But I was at a comedy club.
I need you to keep getting.
You're like, we need to get booked. Yeah, I was at a comedy club and nothing really happened at the comedy club. I just drank. I had a few drinks. I didn't drink a lot last night. I did not at all. I had about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I had about 7 beers, which is not. That's not a lot. It's for like.
You.
You know, yeah. Well, for like, yeah. Well, that's the point. Like, it's like I don't like. That's almost nothing. Like, it's like
Yeah.
I can do that fine. Like, the reaction that I had to it is what's concerning because I woke up today at 3:30, 4 p.m. and I had no idea what just. I had no idea what happened the night before, and I wasn't hungover or anything. I woke up and I felt fine, and I just like, I woke up to my mother calling me on Mother's Day. She had to call me.
Ooh.
Bad. Yeah, terrible. I felt terrible. I was going to get her like a, like a bouquet of flowers, and I completely. What do you?
I'm just imagining like your mom calls you on
Yeah.
Mother's Day, and she's like, "What'd you do last night?" And you're like, "I think I got drugged."
Well, that's what I mean, I had to.
Did you tell her?
I said I just woke up, and then she
Uh-huh.
was like, "Why?"
Ooh.
And then I said it's because I worked overnight. And
Okay,
which
okay.
I was working
Technically,
overnight. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean it's true. But I had been home for a whole day and I didn't work, so I lied. And I told her I was working overnight, and then I kind of alleviated that concern that she had. But I woke up and I was like, "What the fuck happened?" I had to call several people, and I had to like retrace my steps, and I was like, I haven't blacked out since, I think like since I was 17, almost fucking 10 years ago, and I don't even think then I blacked out like this. Like, I remembered stuff still. Like, I could still retrace.
When did you stop? Remember at what point? So you're at the club,
Yeah.
and then at what point does it turn off, like your memory, or stop? Like, what's the last thing you remember, and then how
Like-
big of a gap?
Like, leaving. Fuck. Ugh. Bleep it out again.
Man,
Leaving, yeah.
so when was that? What time?
It might have been. Yeah, it was probably 1
Okay.
a.m. And left the bar at 5 a.m. I went to a bar
Oh, okay. I see.
after the comedy club where I was having drinks there and just like talking to people. Don't remember any of that at all. Don't remember it at all. I mean,
still, when people tell you it
No.
happened, you don't have any recollection.
no, and it's so
Whoa. That's kind of
like anxiety inducing, dude.
Time
I don't
travel.
know any of the conversations I had. I like had to call people and was like, I hope I wasn't weird. I hope I didn't do anything weird. Which it's like anytime I've been blacked out, I've never done anything weird. But it's because like
You're probably a pretty charming blacked out guy. You're definitely able to do that.
I'd hope so. I just like, well, I think if you were to do something weird when you're blacked out, that means you had something weird on your mind. Which I
Exactly,
normally
yeah.
don't. So I think it's very hard to like be a weirdo when you're like you're not aware of what's happening.
Yeah, I
but
think if you're a weirdo sober, you're probably a weirdo
yeah,
drunk.
yeah, right. So yeah, I didn't remember any of that conversation at all, and I was talking to people, and I was having conversations that should have been had while sober,
Like serious conversations.
like serious
and
conversations.
you know this because they told you.
Yeah, I had a friend. I had called a friend, and I had her like give me a brief summary of the night, and she was telling me, and I was, I was like, it's like all the things that I didn't want to happen. Like she like pretty much first gave me like a really like you're fine, nothing happened. And then I started to ask questions. And I was like, "Did I do this?" And she was like, "Yeah, you did that."
What? Well, do what? Do what?
Like it
What
would
is it you did?
like kind of like rekindle with like like kind of no, I didn't. No, not like that. Like I didn't. Just having conversations with people about things that have happened in the past, which should have been like a sober
Like
conversation.
heartfelt, sentimental.
Not necessarily heartfelt. More like just kind of like clearing things up
Okay.
and like
Reconcile.
yeah, like
Okay.
reconciling. Yeah, I was pretty much doing that almost like.
Dude, that's super sick. That when you're blackout, your brain is like, all right, let's fix some shit. Dude, your sober brain is just like, I can't think about
Dude,
this.
when you black out, you just become like a mastermind, like negotiating.
You just become the most diplomatic
Yeah.
blackout drunk.
That level of
Time to solve some
when you start
interpersonal
drinking
problems.
to the point where that wave of diplomacy just just
Dude, that is funny to say. I've become overcome with diplomacy.
Drinking to I'm writing that down too, dude.
Oh, that's funny as fuck.
Yeah, I got really diplomatic. It was just I was just
Dude, you used so much energy that your mind had to wipe it. You didn't get drugged. You were just a good person. And your mind was like, zoop.
I was like, get that
No,
shit
we
out
can't
of
do
here.
that.
No, so yeah, I was having these conversations with people that I, had been with, like previous partners. I was just kind of reconciling with them and clearing up things that were unclear. And I was doing that while I was just inebriated, I guess.
Mhm.
And I was just asking my friend, and like I would just ask her little details of like, did this happen? Did I talk about this? And she'd be like, yeah, you did bring that up. And I'd be like, fuck, because I don't know what I said. And even like, it's funny because when you talk shit with people, and then you don't remember it, and then you ask them to like say what you guys were talking about, it's kind of hard for them to be like, we were like calling this person a bitch. Like,
Yeah,
it's like hard for them to like.
yeah, that's
like,
a good point.
Yeah, they'd be like, no, like the easy way to get out of it is to just be like, no, we just had like it was fine. It was a
We
harmless
started by
conversation.
shit talking this guy, and then we sort of naturally segued to talking about how this person's not funny.
Yeah,
and
it's
then-
hard. It's hard to be like, I don't remember anything. Can you please like recap what happened? And they're like, yeah, we called this person a fucking whore.
And then you agreed, and then you dapped me up.
Yeah. So I was asking this person. I was like, what did we talk about? And it was like very hard for them to. It wasn't hard for them to, but I could just tell they didn't want to go into detail.
Mm-hmm.
They were just kind of like, yeah, it was just a drunk conversation, and I was like, yeah, I just didn't want to be. Even if I was drunk for the conversations, I wouldn't mind. I just wish I could remember what I said and what kind of the nature of the conversations were. But I pretty much called everybody that I had talked to last night and kind of and they were like, yeah, it's fine, you're fine, nothing happened. You're fine. They were like, we didn't know that you drove home. And I honestly did not. That's something I don't,
Yo.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah, it was really bad. It's not something I'm proud
Drove
about.
home at 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Not something I'm proud about.
Beat the commute.
Dude, did not even. I don't know. Like, I woke up and I was like, I don't know where my car is. I was like, it could be parked in the middle of the fucking street. And
Did you run out and check immediately?
no, I at that point it's like, why even give a fuck? Like, I'm like,
Yeah,
if something
in my
bad
mind,
happened,
it's like I'm gonna run out of my
Yeah.
pajamas and they're gonna be like putting on the boot. And
oh,
I'm like, no,
really?
no, no, no.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, me. Whenever I wake up too late, I'm like, whatever is
4
done
p.m.
is
is nuts.
done. Yeah. And it's like, it's also like, I don't know. I also have this thing about like punishing myself. So like, I'm like, if I were to get a boot, I'd be like, good.
I
Like,
deserve it.
Yeah, but it hasn't really been effective.
Yeah, I was gonna say you really bypassed the punishment.
Yeah, it's not working. But I did perfectly parallel park my car. Not a scratch.
I
Kind of the
This
man.
is a weird thing to say, but like, I will drive home
Yeah.
and then I'll parallel park perfectly
Yeah.
when I'm a little inebriated, and I'll be like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Dude, I genuinely
Yeah,
think
dog,
like
yeah.
if you're leaving a bar and they're like, "Are you good to drive?"
Yeah.
You should just have to parallel park in front of them, and if you
Yeah.
nail it, they can just be like, "Get out of here, dude."
Yeah, yeah.
That's my
That
opinion
is,
on
yeah.
that.
I've never had. I mean, I've walked out of bars where like the bouncer's just like watching me get into my car and just not really.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
like it's
not
so
like,
awkward.
yeah, it's not. It's not something I'm proud of, and it's something I really should stop doing. I don't know how people have like just like the discipline. Like my brother will never drive, even if he's had a few drinks, he won't drive. Like he's very much like I'm gonna get an Uber. Like he's
Even if he's only had like 6 or 7.
even if he's only had 6 or 7 beers, he's not driving. Uh, yeah, and he calls Uber. He's like that. Me personally, if I have like, I've definitely called Ubers before. There's been times where I've been like, okay, I need to call an Uber, but like if I have like 4 beers, I'm like I'm fine, which I don't think is crazy.
No, I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like I'm fine. I don't know, but yeah, I definitely shouldn't. It's so sinister to lie to people too. When I told everybody I had an Uber, and
Yeah, dude, you're a very high functioning alcoholic.
yeah, get a lot done.
Uber's on its way. And then just drunkenly walk around the corner to your car. You know, it'd be so funny if like you just when you came out of your parking spot, you just rear-ended the car and then you hit both cars to the
Yeah,
left. And
all
like,
the
but when
way,
I got
yeah.
home, I parallel parked
Perfectly
flawlessly.
fine, yeah. Yeah, it'd be funny to just like get in the car and then drive past people that you told where you were Uber
Uh-huh.
and seeing them. Yeah, but so that happened, and I had called this friend of mine, and they told me that a lot of people that worked at this place had gone to that bar and gotten roofied before. She said it's not unusual. Like people go to that bar and get roofied a lot.
Yeah, but you getting roofied would be weird, right?
Yeah, I
Unless
don't
it was
know.
that guy
Yeah.
that you complimented back, and then it sort of makes sense. But yeah,
Nah. I think I don't. That's the thing. I was like, I don't know why they would. I don't know how roofing a guy would go, but
well, when you told me, I thought it was Sam Morrill has a bit about this. How like he was at a college party one time, and a guy was like trying to give a drink to a girl, and she didn't want it, and he was like, "I'll take it," and he said like the guy was like, "Oh fuck," and he just like then he woke up and he was like, "I just got roofied. What the fuck?" So he was like, I'm an accidental hero.
holy shit.
That's what I thought happened to you.
Yeah,
I thought
no.
someone like a girl was gonna drink it, and you're like, "Oh,
Well,
I'll take it."
my friend told me that I could have like accidentally drank someone's drink or something like that. But I don't know. When I first woke up, I didn't think that it. I just like I was just kind of dumbfounded because nothing like this has ever happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't black out. I just
Now we
don't.
have to see if it happens habitually.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then draw some.
I've
conclusions.
said this in the past. I would love to know the amount of drinks it takes to get me to black out because
I mean, we could figure this out.
I've
We
gone.
could- we
could
have a
conduct this
facility.
experiment. Yeah, I've gone. I've gone. I've gone deep into the night drinking and
Definitely depends on your
still
diet that day as well.
sleep,
your
diet.
sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I went from working overnight for an entire week to kind of coming back home, not getting much sleep. But again, I've done that before and still not blacked out. This is just something that's completely new, and
Maybe you're just aging.
I don't even. I don't think that. I don't think that is. I don't think that's the case. I think I don't know. I don't think I don't think I got roofied either. I don't know. I just don't know how it happened. It's insane.
Maybe you took another drug.
No, I was on I was on the booze the entire night.
Well, you don't know.
That is true. Yeah. It could have been something else. The person said that someone got drugged but not roofied too. There was a case of that. It could be possible, and
Yeah, giving your drugs away is so. Well, I guess I thought of that in a really retarded way just now. It's not like you want to take them.
no, I mean I only. My friend was like, I only buy drugs for myself, and I was like, yeah, buying drugs for other people is. I mean, yeah, I didn't even know like people still roofie people.
It's very old-fashioned, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
I mean that's
That's
so.
the best drink to put it into.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was like still a fucking thing. It's kind of like the thing with like I was talking about this the other day, like show business, like people that like try to like leverage their power in show business, and
Uh-huh.
they're like, oh, you could get this script if you like
You could get a sitcom on ABC.
Yeah, if you kind of go down on me or something,
Uh-huh.
like, and it's like people still try to do that today, and I'm like, you think this is the fucking '60s? Like,
I bet it still happens, dude. That's the thing is like,
yeah,
I bet it still
it
happens a
probably
lot.
still does happen, but it's like just so like
It's like antiquated.
you might have more luck just like getting that person canceled. Like, you might get something out of just doing that than actually having to whatever. That would so I mean that
That's
would
like the cycle though. And then you think that you can get them canceled, and then they're like, "Well, remember when we brought you on and we made you say the N-word in front of a camera? What are you gonna do now?" And you're like, "I guess I'm sucking this guy's cock for a fucking sitcom."
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, sucking dick for a sitcom's funny. I would I don't know.
or sad.
Yeah. Just the
Depends how good the sitcom is.
sucking dick for a sitcom. It's not much alliteration in there, but it's intended.
Sucking dick for a sitcom.
It just rolled off the tongue
for
really
a
nicely.
sitcom. Yeah.
Sucking dick for a sitcom. So yeah, that happened, and I kind of like I didn't feel hungover. I felt fine. I just like talked to my mom. It's really sad when your mom has to call you on Mother's Day and then just like be a mother. Like she was like, take care of yourself, drink water, get some rest, and I was like, thank you, mom.
She probably enjoys that a little bit.
Yeah, there's got to be yeah. I think that there is a joy to that.
I think I have to actually call my mom. I didn't call her today.
You didn't call her mom? Are you serious?
I was so hungover,
Dude,
dude.
your mom.
I texted her.
Probably like.
I texted her and I said, "Happy Mother's Day, Mother. I appreciate you greatly." And then she responded with like a heart emoji. And then 5 hours later, she responded saying, "I just reread your text and realized it was very formal." Like, yeah, I should.
Your mom must be like the most chill lady on earth.
Dude, my mom is so chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Well, when we were in Australia,
I've never seen a picture of her mom. I've just realized that.
there's a reason. When we were in Australia, I realized
picture of your
I had
mom.
like this. I don't even have pictures of any of my family. I don't have a single picture of my dad.
Yeah.
But
I've
anyway,
got pictures of everybody in my family.
what was I gonna say? Oh, so when I was in Australia and we were like all on this sailboat and we were all smoking, like smoking doobie
Yeah.
and drinking. People were like playing the guitar and shit. It was just like I just had this like realization where I was like, dude, my mom's a hippie. My mom is just a hippie that's
Yeah.
super high functioning. She's a
Yeah.
high functioning hippie.
Yeah.
Like some people, they're stoners and that's just like their whole thing and it just envelops their life. But my mom is very good at like she can be like a really like boss honest bitch when she wants to
Whoa,
be.
Yeah.
But then like she can also and dude, she like literally like let her hair down
Whoa.
and she was going on the boat and while everybody was like smoking and stuff, she was like, "I'll go clean." And then everybody's like, "No, just hang up here." And she was like, "No, I'll help out." And I was just like,
Whoa.
"So you're like because that's relaxing
Yeah.
because she's on vacation."
Yeah.
And I was like, but she's also hanging out. I don't want people to think my mom's just like in the galley.
Yeah,
but like she's just like so willing to just make it awesome for everybody else.
Yeah.
While also just being able to relax and then flip the switch and just be like, I need this done by this date.
Right.
You fucking piece
Yeah.
of shit.
That's kind of I
I really, really admire my mom.
That's really cool.
She's
Your mom's like cool at smoking.
She's super badass. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
This is a funny story. My Oma, she passed away, and they had her ashes for a while, and they didn't get a chance to spread them. And the plan was like they were gonna bring them onto my uncle's sailboat, and like go to some place they used to always sail and spread them together. Like my mom, my aunt, and my uncle.
Yeah.
And because my mom and my uncle dislike my other aunt so much, because she's a huge bitch.
Yeah.
My mom was like, "Hey, can you get us some weed for me and Jordan?" She was like, "I'll give you $100 to go buy some weed, and we'll only take a little bit, and you can keep the rest. I just need you to get it for me." And I was back from college, and I was like, "I don't know anybody from New Jersey that that like sells weed." And she looked at me, and she was like, "You're on the lacrosse team. Figure it out." And I was like, "Okay, dude."
Holy
shit! I figured it out. I got weed, and then I brought it back, and I was like, "Do you wanna smoke a little tonight?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I was like, it was like the movie scene of, it's not like the old days, Mom. It's a little stronger than what you had.
Yeah.
And she was like, my mom was definitely a stoner in college.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, I can smoke." And I was like, "Okay." So then my uncles made me these pipes. I
Yeah.
filled this pipe up with way too much weed. I took a hit, and then I give it to my mom. She takes a hit. My mom takes a hit, like literally slowly removes the pipe from her mouth. Her eyes just instantly gloss over, and I'm like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And then she's just drooling under her shirt. I was like, "Mom," and she was like, "I'm gonna go to bed."
Whoa.
And then she just goes upstairs. The next morning, she's like, "That's the best sleep I've gotten in the past like 10 years."
Whoa. Holy shit.
I know, it was awesome.
Whoa. The drooling's intense.
Also, I remember my mom sat me and my brother down before we went to high school.
Yeah.
I mean, before we went to college, and she was like, "All right, boys, tell me what you did." And we were like, "Huh?" And she was like, "What drugs did you do?
Whoa.
How much did you drink?
Yeah.
How crazy? What's like
Yeah.
the craziest shit you did?" And we were like, "We didn't do anything. We, because you said not to." And then like dare.
Yeah.
We're like,
The dare
dude, but
thing.
like my friend group genuinely like we made fun of people who drank. We were like, "That's pathetic that you drink and smoke.
That is
You're
kind
like
of,
losers."
That is kind of awesome.
And so yeah, we like played board games.
Being
and
super
shit.
pretentious is also cool.
It helps.
Yeah.
It helps a lot.
Yeah.
If you're chauvinistic about
Yeah.
everything you
yeah.
do.
Yeah. Very much so.
But yeah, I just remember she was like, "Oh my God, I raised losers." And I was like, "What?" And then she literally was like, "You're on the lacrosse team and the hockey team, and you didn't smoke at all?"
Whoa.
And I was like, "Yeah, aren't you proud?"
Yeah.
And then another time she was talking to me, my brother, and my sister, and we were all just like at a restaurant or whatever.
1,000% was a hip. You're a test tube.
Oh my
baby.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that has to do with it, but
They all those hippies do that.
they get test tube. Well, I mean, it's because my dad was infertile. I don't know if that's like a hippie trait.
Oh.
But also, yeah, we like
I didn't know. I thought she was like single at first and then met your
No,
dad
no.
afterwards.
I mean, technically, when she was a child, she was single. But
Mm.
I like talk to her friends at home where she lives because she just like by chance she now lives in a town with people she was friends with like out of college and stuff,
Yeah.
and they would like go in a truck and like they would literally just lay in the bed and drive into New York City together and then just go to all the clubs and dance all night long and do drugs and shit.
Whoa.
And they're telling all these stories, and then like these two older guys that are both married are like talking to me and my friend who are in my mom's hometown. They're like, "You want to get fucking poon? You want to get puss?" The two girls walked up, and I just felt like I was like, we're just such a pathetic generation to these people. Like they just like did so much. And
Yeah,
then my mom one
yeah.
time to my brother and my sister and I, she was like, "You guys have never been skinny dipping?"
Whoa,
And we were like,
yeah.
"No, it's
Yeah.
weird."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I honestly wanted to be like, "Do you have any idea how small my penis would be in cold water?" But I'm not gonna do
Yeah,
that with a
yeah.
woman. But
yeah, skinny dipping's
it's like,
intense.
and then she
yeah.
was like, "That's pathetic."
Yeah, it's kind of it's
What?
it is like I kind of feel that way whenever I talk to my dad, I just go, oh, I'm like half the man he is. Like whenever I like talk to my dad and he's like, how old are you? And I'm like, I'm this age, and he's like, oh, I remember when this happened at that age. And it's always something where I'm like, it's like I remember when I was in war at that time, guerrilla warfare.
I
and
remember,
I'm like,
yeah, when you're like 13, you're like, I remember when I got my first AK-47.
Yeah. I remember on my 24th birthday, my dad was like, how old are you? And I was like 24, and he was like, trying to kill myself at that age. And then he was like, had hung myself, but my brother got me. Like, he was like, my brother had picked up my legs and everything. And I was like, what the fuck were you?
Yo.
I was like, damn, dude, this guy has like lived a life worth, like to the point where he wanted to like kill himself at my age. And I've never I've never had the thought of doing it. Like, I'm not like, whatever. Being depressed is one thing, but like actually trying to
Taking
your life,
action.
yeah, taking action
That's
is
a big step.
Yeah, it's huge. So I just remember being like, I don't know anything about this guy, and just being like, this guy is intense, and I don't know. It's kind of that like similar to what you're saying with your mom. Like they've just lived a way more intense, different lifestyle.
No phones.
Yeah.
No internet. They just had to figure
Right.
shit out.
Had to fucking. I don't even know how they. Everything was harder. Booking flights, all that stuff.
Doing
like,
your taxes.
doing your
Paying your
taxes,
credit
yeah.
card bill. Just literally
Yeah.
fucking everything.
And
I was
wonder.
well, what?
I was gonna say, I wonder like what our kids are gonna.
Well, I was thinking about this today
Yeah.
because me and my coworker, we ordered Shake Shack,
Yeah.
which took fucking 30 minutes because the fucking computer didn't work. But anyway,
Wow.
I sprinted down to Shake Shack to get it, and outside of Shake Shack was one of those little food delivery robots, like the big RC car looking thing.
Wow.
And I just was thinking, I was like, this is the beginning of this.
Yeah.
It's gonna get to a point where you can be like hiking with your family, and the kids can be like a drone will come out of nowhere and drop a fucking burrito into your kid's
Yeah.
lap, and you'll be like,
Wow.
I told you no deliveries. We're in nature. And they're like, but the drone's radius is like
Yeah.
400 miles,
Yeah,
Dad. And you're like, I
yeah.
don't care.
It's
But I mean, our kids are gonna just
Yeah.
be such
Such
pussies. I
pussies.
mean, it is how we raise them.
Yeah. I want kids to like. It is funny when you mentioned your mom like skinny dipping too, where she's like, "You never skinny dip." I always like. I don't ever want to know the answers to these questions, but I do wonder sometimes. I'm like, this is gonna be weird. I'm always like, I wonder if like my parents
Go ahead.
had like a threesome or something. Like
Your dad would never.
no. I not
Oh,
like
I was just thinking with another guy.
no. I don't mean like them to. I just mean when they were like younger, like in their
Oh.
lives. And
Oh,
stuff like
yeah.
that. I'm like, I wonder if they were ever, which I doubt it. I mean, they were fucking in Africa, where you could
It's
barely.
interesting though.
I mean, sex positivity is not a thing in Africa.
That's why it
like,
would make it
people-
even cooler.
It would be insane. It would be way harder to pull that off in Africa. Pulling off a threesome in Africa.
Mhm.
It's
Do you think the
insane.
third would tell? Is that why?
No, I just think it's like people just don't have that mindset. People just believe in like family, and they don't believe in messing around like that. But I'm always like, I wonder. I wonder if my dad would be happy if I had a threesome. I wonder if he
I
would
think
be
he'd
like,
probably be juiced for you.
yeah. I wonder if he wants me to surpass him in that sense. Like I want my kid to surpass me, so I'm like I want my kid to be like, out there in a threesome, having an orgy.
Yeah.
something
Do
like
you?
that.
So you want your son to lose his virginity before you did?
I lost mine pretty early, so I don't think.
How early?
I think I was like a freshman in high school.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I
Dude.
think so.
Have we talked about this?
I think I did. Wait, let me think. Oh,
That's like 13.
yeah, I did, but it was like it was barely sex. It really wasn't sex. It
Penis
was,
and vagina.
Yeah, like for like not that. It was like very brief, and then we went to school. It was like
What?
It was a late start.
Then we packed our lunch and
Yeah.
went to school.
I like came over her house, and then we did this before we went into school, and then I saw her in the hallway, and I was like,
You lost your virginity at like 7 a.m.
yeah.
What the
It's
fuck?
such a childish.
How did
thing
you get
do.
to her? Did your mom drop you off?
No, I drove there. Well, no, I didn't
What?
drive there. I took the bus,
Yeah.
maybe.
That's dedication, though. I respect that.
Yeah.
You took the you woke up early.
Yeah, because I wasn't driving until I was like a junior. I probably took the bus.
Did you know the entire
Or maybe I
time?
walked. I don't know how I got there. That's a good question. I definitely walked from her place to school, but I don't know how I got there. But I think like the first time I like really had sex was probably like when I was a senior in high school. Two absences, but I did like
It's-
nothing for in between all of that too. I didn't like. When's the first time you kissed a girl?
Senior in high school?
Senior year of high school?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, I think that was like the first time like I like I don't know. It was like I feel like senior year of high school was the first time I did a lot of things. Cuz like before it would be like little, kind of brief things that I don't really count. Like I'd say like kissing a girl, I've definitely did that in like fucking 3rd grade or 5th grade.
You're one of those guys.
And like but I remember like in
There's always one kid in kindergarten who was like a pimp.
Dude,
Kieran King
I
Sellers
was,
in
dude.
my kindergarten.
was
It just had
behind-
like 6 bitches with him on the playground. And I'd be like,
Dude.
what is this guy's secret?
That was me, dude. I literally when I was
You were the manager?
when I was I think I was like in 2nd grade, 3rd grade or whatever. I had kissed this girl like behind like this like rock climbing wall,
Nice.
and then she left me immediately. But my neighbor loved me 'cause she was like, cause our home phone was disconnected, the line was disconnected, so we didn't have like a home phone,
Uh-huh.
which is kind of insane. I feel
That is
like if you're a
insane.
kid with no phone and then you also don't have a home phone, like how are you supposed to call your parents?
Just
But,
loudly.
Yeah, I used to walk
Just
down the
yell.
street. I don't know why I think I borrowed her phone once for something. It
Mhm.
was just this lady down the street that my mom was friendly with. So I used to go down I used to go down the street and I used to ask her every single day if I could borrow her phone, her home phone. And she'd be like, yeah, and then she'd give it to me and I would just call a girl and talk to her
Dude, that's
on the
so
phone
sick.
for like an hour. And then I remember like growing up I saw her and then she like saw me recently and she was like asking me about like if I had a girlfriend and stuff. I was like, nah, I've been busy or whatever. She was like, really? She was like, I used to remember. She was like, you used to make me crack up. Like, you used to come over here and just talk to girls on my phone for hours. I was like,
I mean, you really haven't changed. You just have a car now,
Yeah, I just have a car now and a phone.
and you're still lying
Yeah.
about not being with girls.
But it is kind of like player to have to be a little kid and
Yeah,
this
you had game.
yeah, this girl's just witnessing a little little child being a player and just talking to different women on
Popping
the
the
phone. every
collar,
day, yeah.
dialing the
I used to just
landline.
kick it on her porch and just talk on her own phone to women.
That's so awesome.
And she was the biggest wingman for letting me borrow her phone every fucking day. It was almost like I was like, how is she not annoyed? I would just come knock on her door and then she'd be like brushing her teeth or something. She'd be like, she'd just come back with the phone and give it to me.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
cool.
it was so funny. But
You got to put that in the script.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a great scene.
yeah, that is funny. I've been like saying a lot of things where I'm like, this is very sitcom-y, you know. Like it's I don't know. I'm like it's not the best for stand up, but it is very sitcom.
Dude, honestly, I sometimes have days, and it's mostly stemming from just I think I'm horrendous at stand up, but I'll go through all my notes that I write down and I'll be like, maybe I'm just like a Larry David guy where like I'm just like a genius in another medium,
Yeah.
but it's not stand up.
Yeah.
Maybe like all of my stuff is just like it needs to just be
Yeah.
visual.
It's weird to figure that out too. To know you're just like a really good TV producer. Like how do you figure that out?
I think you try a lot of
you
shit.
you do just try a lot of shit. I mean, I think
and you fail at it.
yeah.
And then you do adjacent stuff
I
because
think
you're
it-
interested.
Yeah, I think it happened to. I don't think this person failed, but I think like Childish Gambino. What's his actual name? Donald Glover.
Donald Glover?
Donald Glover. Like
Is it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he did comedy and like he did music and like
He's pretty good at everything.
yeah. I think the thing with him though is that like his stuff ages poorly. Like I think he's definitely got like great songs that don't age, but a lot of his songs are kind of like very like I don't know. I just kind of think like they're like I don't know. I just don't like him that much, but it's also like if you listen to it now, you're like, this is kind of corny rap,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But back then, it was like really good for its time. Same thing with the stand up. Like I've seen a stand up and I've been like, this is kind of cringe, but it's like really
Stand up
good.
does not age well.
It almost never ages well. But there's stand up that really does age well, but it's very easy for your stand up to not age well.
Correct.
Um,
Because it's a reflection of that time.
yeah,
Same with
exactly.
same with
yeah.
the music too. It's like
yeah.
it's kind of an unfair indictment upon someone's
Right.
music to be
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's kind of cringe now
Yeah, that's what they do with like Eminem. They're like,
because they're addressing what it was then.
it sucks to like be like super famous and like super well respected for something that you were doing really good at the time, but it just aged so poorly.
Dude, this is what I
That
think
is
about
Eminem's
fucking
career.
professional athlete. Every professional athlete, like Cam Newton,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
he won MVP
Yeah.
of the NFL.
Yeah.
And now I've seen videos of him at like his own camp, and there's like an 11-year-old fat kid that's like, "Yo, why didn't you dive on the ball in the Super
Yeah.
Bowl, bitch?"
Yep, yeah.
And Cam is just like, "Yo, I don't care what you think, bro." And you're like, "Dude, you do."
Yeah. You
And
very
it's
much
like
do,
that
yeah.
kid will never even
Yeah.
touch
Yeah.
what Cam did in
Yeah.
terms of greatness. But it's just like, it's just now since it's happened and it's done,
Yeah.
you can just like lob those insults
Right.
over, and it's like
yeah.
that should not be
Yeah.
how. There shouldn't be like a fucking
Yeah.
statute of limitations on greatness.
Right. I agree. Cam's such a wholesome guy too. I love Cam, dude.
When he was on the Patriots, I was juiced.
Yeah. There's so many
God,
like
my vocab is horrendous.
there's so many clips of him like that.
He's very eccentric. I
Yeah.
enjoy people that are one of one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful woman just walked by.
Yeah, I was talking about my squatter the other day where I was like I had a squatter for a year.
Mhm.
And like this is like very sitcomish, but it's just hard to make into a joke where like I remember this guy would always be like, I'm gonna help you out with the rent. And then I'd be like sick and then he would like slide a 10 under my door. I was like I'm like, are you fucking
How
serious?
bad do you think I'm
yeah.
doing?
I was like, you think this is like the fucking 1920s where rent's like $50?
Yeah. Wait, the squatter was doing that?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, okay. He was trying to like, that was like recompensance. All right.
Yeah, he was like giving me like $10.
Yeah, he's like, don't say I didn't do anything for
yeah,
you.
he'd be like, yeah, I got y'all with the rent this month. And then he would
Oh.
like give all of us a 20, and we'd
Yeah.
be like,
I like
"Seriously,
I
dude?"
like when you do something for somebody and then they're like, I owe you one, and then they do like the most minor thing. They're like, we're even now. Dude, this is weird, but I had an ex-girlfriend and we were sexting and I sent her something that was extremely graphic and she was like, she saved it. She was like, fuck yeah, I'll send you something later. And then she just sent me a picture of her in a dress and she was like, now we're even. And I
Whoa.
was like, this isn't even close.
Yeah, not even. Yeah.
And then like literally months later, she was like, remember when I fucking just sent you a picture of me in a dress? And I was like,
Jesus.
yeah, that wasn't fair. But I'm not gonna call you out and be
Yeah.
like, take it off.
Right. Yeah. It
My
is.
cock was out.
It's like it's like an unspoken thing. You can't really you can't be like, come on.
Yeah.
You just kind of gotta take what you get.
And with women and nudes, it's like they're all gonna be different in terms of their skill level of
Yeah.
sending nudes,
Yeah.
and a lot of it is just like maybe they're not a creative person, maybe they don't know, maybe they're not an artist,
Yeah.
and maybe they're not a narcissist.
Yeah.
You need a
Yeah.
narcissistic film girl
Right.
because
Oh
she knows
my
her
God,
angles, her lighting,
yeah.
and she fucking
Yeah.
loves herself.
Yep.
And if you get like a video
Yup.
of someone who like is in love with themselves, like you
Yeah.
can really tell. Which is why I feel like I'm bad at sending nudes because I
I
don't.
fucking hate myself.
myself
dude.
that
Yeah.
much,
I
yeah.
like. I'm like, ew. Anytime I take a picture of my penis, I'm like, what the fuck is that?
My xenomorph.
I'm like, you just gotta see it in person. It's just a little bit better. in
Yeah,
person,
my penis is like Jay Leno. It doesn't put out any stuff. I'm like, you gotta. It's a live art form.
Yeah, it's
like
live.
You gotta see it
You
live to
gotta see
appreciate it.
live, yeah. No, I mean, I've gotten into. I've done a few like recordings of intercourse.
I have too. Yeah.
Yeah, I have, and
Pretty recently,
I
actually.
hate it. I mean, it's like
I really liked it.
it's cool to
Well,
look at.
did you set up? Was it POV?
No, it's just like I'll be having sex with a chick, and then she'll be like, "Record this shit," and I'm like, "All right, but," and I'll just grab my phone and start recording.
And that's what's crazy too, is because I would never tell a girl
Yeah,
to
no.
record something.
Yeah, record
But if a
this.
girl tells me to record something, which has
Yeah.
happened,
Yeah.
I'm never backing down from that.
No.
I'll just turn into a director.
Yeah, I am. A part of me does die when a girl's like, "Record this," though, because I'm like, ugh. She's got videos of her getting
First
fucked
time?
in there. Yeah, I'd prefer. I remember when my. I can't
Wait, so
think of-
you set up a camera? So there's a video out there of you fucking from like
Yeah.
the side.
No,
so it's like your
mostly,
full
It's
body.
mostly my point of view.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But okay, your face is not in it at all.
No.
Okay.
No, not my
Do you
face,
want it?
no.
No. I kind of want to just see. Dude, this is not an invasion of privacy on her. Like, I don't want
Yeah.
to. I do not. I genuinely. Okay, my friend asked
Dude,
me
you want to
this.
see a funny text?
Whoa. Yes, I do. While you're bringing that up, my friend asked me one time. He was like, if I had a sex tape, would you watch it? And I said yes, because it would be like interesting to see your friend having sex. Dude, it's such a bad time to say that when you're looking for text because it just dies into the ether. Okay, what am I rating? The blue and then that?
This.
Okay, weird question, but how big is your
This is
dick?
to my brother, by the way.
LMAO, I think I should know. Like, not in a weird way, but I want to know what you got to see if there was, like, any huge disparity between us. I'm pretty average. It would be sick if you had a hog. You deserve it after getting the allergies and stuff out of the womb. LMA, you're funny.
Nah, nigga. God hates me. I'm average, too. You know Dad ain't got no hog genetics.
That's funny as fuck.
Yeah, I
Your
was
poor
like,
brother.
dude, I was wondering that for the longest. It kept slipping my mind. I kept being like, I gotta ask my brother how big his dick is, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to know that. Like, is that crazy? That I'm like, I need to know. I want to know.
I mean, I definitely get wanting to know. It's kind of like the mom three-way thing. I kind of want
Yeah.
to know everything,
Yeah.
but I mean, my twin brother, I know he's got a nice piece
Yeah.
because he hit puberty before me,
Yeah.
and I remember being like, "This is bullshit, dude." And then
Yeah.
I finally caught up. I think.
Yeah.
But it was like the last time we saw each other naked was so long ago,
Yeah.
and I kind of want to be like. This is weird because my brother we always excel in like very different areas. So I
Yeah.
feel like he's gonna have like a pretty nice long penis, and I just have like a real girthy baby's fist penis. You know,
Girth rules, though.
I think girth is
That's the way to
women
go. Yeah.
react to girth. It's like that's the
That's their yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think that's what they
You gotta-
prefer.
really open up the
Yeah.
hatch.
Yeah. I think having like a pencil dick is the worst case.
Yeah, pencil dick is bad, dude. I think about like Hannah has that joke about sleeping with a guy that had a micro penis, and it's like
Yeah.
it is kind of fucked up that you're just This poor guy, man. Like I can't laugh at that joke because I just feel so bad
Yeah, for the guy.
for the
Yeah.
fucking guy. That's one of the worst, dude. And my friend, his girlfriend who works in the NICU, like with babies, there's a lawsuit because someone botched a circumcision, and she was telling us about it, and she was like, and this kid was gonna have a hog, and they
Whoa.
fucking sliced his penis off.
Fuck.
I know, but I mean, he'll probably get a
Fuck.
really nice artificial one. To be fair,
Dude, that sucks.
this must have been. Yeah, it does suck a lot.
Holy
Because he was
shit.
gonna have
I've
a nice
never
one.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, some
Like don't even
rabbis
do that. Yeah.
must
I've really
fuck it up.
I've really
Wait,
yeah,
are
I
you
think,
circumcised?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm circumcised.
It's disgusting.
Wait, what's like the religious thing? You do get circumcised? if
Jewish? You do, but most people in America
Most
do.
people in America do that. Yeah. That's why the fuck do you have to get circumcised if you're Jewish?
I don't know.
The fuck?
I don't know, man.
It's not even.
I'm only 5% Jewish. I
I
can't.
would assume the opposite. Like you should not be touched.
Yeah, because they
for, like,
they
religious
wear like the
reasons.
little yarmulke, and you'd think
Yeah.
it's kind of like a yarmulke for your.
Yeah.
Although I
right.
guess the penis head sort of resembles a yarmulke.
Yeah. I just think that like it would be more religious if you had no operation done on you. You know.
I don't know. Religion likes to tamper with shit that's natural.
Yeah.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah. But yeah.
I just like cutting the skin off your cock is just so animalistic.
Yeah.
I guess it's not animalistic at all. But it's because it's just like unnatural to me. But like, whoever had that idea, there's a movie called like Year One, where they're like the first guy to ever do it's try to convince another guy to do it,
Really.
and he's like, I don't know about that, man. He's like, no, trust me. It's like, yeah, I don't.
I honestly I didn't know about circumcision until recently,
Well, how recent,
like
Are
this
we-
year.
dude? That's very late.
You remember when I texted you? I think I texted you.
Asking if I was circumcised.
Well, I just didn't know it was a procedure. I thought you were either born circumcised or uncircumcised.
Have you written this down?
There's a person out there that has a joke about it.
Fuck.
The person that I screwed talks about it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
To be completely candid.
Yeah, that was very. I mean, could have been a little more candid, but
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't know. It was a whole. I remember texting my brother. I texted you. I was like, and then I found out. That
it's funny to just text. She's like, I gotta talk to everybody about
Yeah.
this.
I was like, "Yo, did you fucking know about this?" And my brother was like, he was like, "You're retarded." But I don't know why I second guess saying that. I don't know because the camera, but
Don't get all human on
yeah,
that.
but yeah, I didn't know that, and then I kind of resented my parents for taking some girth off of me. You know?
Dude, I genuinely think if I didn't have foreskin, my penis would like lose, I'd say at least like 10 points. I'm so happy that it has foreskin. I'm so happy with it.
Do you want to grab the beers?
Yeah, let's do that. And then do like 20.
All right, we're good.
Yeah. We're back.
I just chugged this whole thing.
Well, hey, when you're with a girl, do you want to hear about her past relationships?
I want to know everything.
You're one of these.
Yeah.
This was my ex.
Yeah, I want to know everything.
She would ask me so many questions about all my exes, and then she'd be like, "What do you want to know?" And I'd be like, "You're happy now,
Yeah.
right?"
It's for the best if
If she wants to talk about it, absolutely, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pry.
it's for the best that you don't know, but
But you want to.
I think it depends. It depends. In certain
You're also getting a very biased perspective.
in certain instances you should know. Like if you let's say you're with it's probably going to get weird, but if you're with a comic or something like that,
Okay, I've never been with a comic.
I need to know. I need to know who like I need
Oh,
to
I
know
mean,
every-
yeah, it's your community.
Yeah, exact. Because then if I might look like a fucking dumbass if I'm walking around.
True,
not
that's conflict
knowing.
of interest.
Yeah, exactly. So I need
Separation
to
of
know,
church
yeah.
and state.
But if it's like just some chick that we don't work in the same
Just some
field,
chick.
if we don't work in the same field, like she's just someone I met, through like a social gathering, whatever. We don't have like the same community. I don't feel as pressed to know. I think it'd still be good to know. I don't do anything with the information. I just want to know.
Yeah, but even like it, like
I'm
little
not like
stuff.
figuring it out and being like shame, shame.
Yeah, well, it's not even like shame. Like one of my exes was telling me about an ex that she had that broke up with her,
Yeah,
and in my mind, I was kind of like, so you'd still be with that guy if you could. Like that was my thinking, which isn't necessarily true,
yeah,
but I was kind of like, maybe that. And then
yeah.
also, I was kind of like, if you weren't good enough for that guy, why are you good enough for me? Which is a
Yeah.
weird line of thinking, but
It
I'm
is.
sort of like, that guy got out. Why'd he get out? Like, why
Yeah.
did he want out?
It's really funny to be like,
I wanted to meet him and be like, so why'd you do that?
I wasn't good enough for the last person I was with. I
You
just felt insecure the entire time, but I feel very secure with you.
know, baby, you make me feel so secure.
Secure, yeah. That is kind of a backhanded compliment.
Can I tell you a crazy dream that I had?
Yeah.
I had a crazy dream that the love of my life was possessed by a spirit, and the spirit the spirit was like a man that was spooky looking, and but I knew that my baby girl was inside of him, and she was like, you have to suffocate this man to get me. And so I just choked this dude out, and it was just like, I remember I was choking him from behind, and then I plugged his nose with my fingers, so he just like, there was no way he could breathe. And then
This is
and then like
intense.
all of a sudden he just transformed into her, and I knew, I started crying because I was like, this is the love of my life. And I was holding the love of my life, probably a 6 out of 10. In my dream, dude, I was holding, and I was crying of happiness, and we were kissing and making out, and then I pulled away, and I was like, you're not that hot, but I really loved her. And then so I woke
Whoa.
up in the morning, and I was like, maybe I've been chasing this
And
this dragon.
This is someone you didn't know?
No,
Just like a made up person?
they say that like every face you see in a dream, every person you see in a dream is a face that you've seen. But I mean, it
I'd
could,
imagine, yeah.
but I mean, it could have just been like someone on the subway or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was. I woke up in the morning and I was like, maybe I should stop chasing people who I just find extremely hot. I mean, obviously, there's more to being attracted to someone, but I've always just assumed like my wife, the love of my life, will be a 10 out of 10 in every way.
Yeah.
To think that I just met a really great 6 out of 10 appearance wise, but everything else was
It's
amazing.
like, yeah. Which,
It's kind of like, hey,
yeah.
yeah, that's what you're really looking for.
That, I mean,
That's sustainable.
yeah, that rules for me, to be honest. Like, I've met girls where I'm like, not the most attracted to them, but I'm like, everything else kind of works out. So I'm like,
And then they become
yeah.
attractive to you.
And I like spending time with them, and I'm like, I'm fine with this.
Dude,
you
that
know?
was why I deleted Hinge, just because you'd see so many girls and you'd be like, I mean, on the app, I don't really find you that attractive, but it's fucked up because I'm sure if we were in person and I got to know you, I would probably think you're out of my league.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
over this app, just looking on a screen, I
Yeah.
can just be like, nah, your eyes are a little too far apart, you know? But in real life, I would probably
Yeah,
be
you're
like nervous.
You're like, yeah, your
if I
thing's
saw
like
you.
it's tailored to like the perfect
Mhm.
symmetry of a
And then
woman's face.
it's just so, it's like if you're really hot, there's not a great chance that you are great in other categories, that goes for both sexes.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, I mean, I do meet there's a guy that goes to this gym who is like 6'4", one of the most handsome guys I've ever seen in my entire life.
I've seen that guy
One of
here.
the nicest
Yeah.
voices,
Yeah.
and he's such a sweetheart. And I'm
Dude,
just like,
imagine
what
if
what is
yeah.
wrong with you?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
What is wrong with you?
Dude, I'll see guys on the street like that, and I'll just be like, I'll just get pissed.
I passed a guy today, full head of hair. I mean, wavy, beautiful head of hair. Maybe 6'5", wide like shoulders, just athletic build, cool sunglasses. And I looked in his hand and I was like, that's a vape. He's a degenerate. And then I saw it was like a BMW car fob, and I was like, fuck, dude. I was just like, do women walk by this guy and just be like, oh my gosh, they must. They must.
Yeah.
And then I look at myself in the reflection of the window of a skyscraper next to me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
nobody's walking by me
Yeah.
and being
No,
like,
no.
yo, that's
Yeah, that is
that's a
kinda like-
hunk.
I'm like, I have to put in so much work.
We do, which I think ultimately is better,
Right.
but
It is a lot better.
it's frustrating.
But I'm like, there's never love at first sight with me. Like, I don't think anyone's ever passed me and been like, Oh.
but also it's like all they have to do is see you crush doing stand up for 10 minutes,
Yeah,
and that might as well be love at
and
first sight.
that's it. That's all you need to fucking do, man. It's just, dude. If you have like a first date, bring them to a show. It is.
This works. I want to put an asterisk. This works if you're good, and you have a good show to bring them to.
You're great, dude. I mean,
I'm saying in general for
it
my
is.
fans.
It is so.
But yeah, that's got to be the sexiest possible
Dude, it
thing.
is so easy after. It is. I mean, it almost like it feels like cheating. I don't do it anymore, but I used to do it where I would like take a girl to a stand-up show, and my God, was it just quick work?
Oh, it's so frustrating.
Just
So
being like, let's
frustrating.
go back to my place, and they're like, yeah, we know.
They're not even like listening, because if they were listening to what you were saying, they'd be like, "This is
They'd be
somewhat
concerned, yeah.
concerning." But it's just like there's a frequency that you're achieving, where when you start to just get that many laughs and they're rolling
Yeah.
laughs, like all that matters is that you're getting laughs.
Yeah.
But I will say this: you have like cool stand up. I have like frantic, high energy, kind of like weird, absurd stand up. And I always think, even if I'm doing well, I don't think women are watching that and attracted to it.
Huh.
Like, it's cringy, sort of.
I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't know if I have cool stand-up. I think I have awkward stand. I think. I don't know. I do sometimes see like I had I would like watch a clip of myself and then I'll be like, I'm speaking. Like I am kind of like I'm speaking like I'm like too cool to be here sometimes, and I'm like I do have to stop. But I'm not trying. I'm like that is just like literally just me talking on stage, and I'm like, why do I look like? Why am I doing that? You know, I'm like.
But it's cool.
Yeah, it works. So I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, it fucking annihilates.
I'm like, okay,
It's
you know,
fine.
but I do. I mean, the thing that my brother's girlfriend said about that clip was kind of true. She was like, "You're telling a very awkward joke, but it does seem like you have a lot of confidence in this clip."
I really don't agree with that take.
Yeah.
Because I guess I'm not. When I watch you on, I guess you do have like a quiet confidence on stage, but that doesn't. Whenever I watch somebody on stage, and maybe it's because I know there's such a separation of who you are on stage and who you are off stage.
Yeah.
But like I can watch somebody who's a great performer and be like, I'm sure they're in shambles talking to a girl.
Yeah.
Like it's such
Yeah.
a different thing. Like
Yeah.
if you're just because that's like watching like a good athlete and being
Right.
like, dude, I'm sure that they're super good at singing. Or, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. That is a very good point.
Just because you're confident in one thing, I get it makes sense because it's conversational.
Yeah.
But
yeah, dude, I watched a video of myself last year
mhm.
doing stand up. The progress is crazy.
Fuck yeah,
The progress is.
I'd like to watch that.
It is insane. I mean, in terms of delivery, cadence, like the way I'm just acting on stage, it really is like. And you don't think there's a noticeable difference, but there is, dude. And in the next year, I'm gonna be way better, and then the year after that, I'm gonna be way better. It's just it
And
is
you'll
like
OD.
I always think I'm like it's kind of like a egotistical thing to think, but I'm just like 10 years from now, I'm like, how much better could I really get in 10 years? I'm like, I'm not saying there's not room to grow. I just think it's achievable in less than 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, in 10 years, how much better am I going to be at stand up? And I think it's a lot. Like, I think there's little things that make a huge difference. And the jokes are, the level of writing and the joke writing and all that's fine. Like, it's going to be whatever. But just in terms of performer, yeah.
Which is so big.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
totally did not realize that going
Yeah.
into stand up.
Being comfortable, being a good performer makes a huge difference. Makes a huge difference. I mean, I have like I have a clip, like if I could take two clips right now, me now versus me back then. Same jokes, just completely different performer. So,
And it's somewhat of an intangible thing, an intangible quality.
yeah.
When you watch someone, you're like, they're really good at that.
Yeah.
It's like, which is frustrating for me because I remember getting into stand up. I was just like, oh, okay, I'll just like be a really good writer.
Yeah.
And then I realized like it doesn't matter how good of a writer you are. Not that I'm a great writer, but it's like it doesn't matter how good of a writer you are if you suck at delivering it.
Right.
And then it was just like, fuck, this is way more open ended and hard than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Because like writing, I'm kind of jealous of like Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Because when he like bombs, he just like says that he's like the joke failed, which is a wild way to think of
Yeah,
it. But
the
like
joke failed.
the way
yeah.
his jokes are written, it's like, yeah, that's on the joke. It's not a good joke.
Yeah,
But when we bomb, we're like, we suck.
we suck. Yeah, yeah. That's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know. My dude, it's also funny when you're like my voice has gotten deeper and like since the last time I
Really?
yeah, like
That's interesting.
I watched that clip and I don't even have a deep voice.
Second puberty.
My voice just got deeper.
Yeah.
And I think it's
Do you think
from-
that's confidence?
No, I think it's just from drinking or something. I don't know. I don't know how or gaining weight.
In like 10 years, you're like, I'm a beer. Bo Bennett.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but I
48.
mean, like, I don't even have a deep voice now. But I was watching that clip, and my God,
Mhm.
I sounded like a fucking 5-year-old. It was insane, dude. I want to show you. I'm gonna show you this clip.
I would
when we
love to
stop.
see it.
Yeah,
I'll send you a clip of me from 2 years ago.
yeah,
It's gonna blow your fucking balls off.
Yeah.
It's so horrible to listen to.
dude.
And you realize
You-
so many things like cadence wise and
yeah,
and tone wise that you just didn't understand. It was one of those things where like you weren't able to put a finger on it until you heard it. And one of the things for me is I will so many times I'll present a premise and I'll end like this where it's like you end up
Yeah.
and so it's kind of like you're asking for them to accept you.
yeah,
So instead of telling them it's funny, you're just like,
yeah.
so my dog died? Instead of being like
Yeah.
my dog died.
yeah, right.
it's
right,
hilarious.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I still slip into it, but I used to literally at all open mics,
yeah,
I would do that, and then I'd be like, "Why isn't this joke working?" I did the exact same, and then I'd listen, and it was like, and I
Yeah.
always end up.
yeah. I mean,
It's very frustrating.
yeah, that's what I've always said. Believe in your set, even if you're unsure, you just have to believe in your joke because if you don't believe in it, other people won't.
You can just kind of turn it on.
Yeah. You
When
can be-
when my buddy was here, he wanted to come to open mics, and I remember the 3 weeks leading up to him coming, I was just like, I've bombed every set that I've done.
yeah.
I am so bad at stand up, but I would
Yeah.
also go up and just be sad on stage and just low energy.
Yeah.
And then I remember he was there and I was like, I mean, my friend's here and
Yeah.
I really care what he thinks,
yeah.
even though it's an open mic. And I just
Right.
went to like 2 open mics and they were shitty rooms
Yeah.
and I did decent
Yeah.
just because I was kind of like, all right,
yeah.
here we are, showtime, let's do it. How's it going, everybody?
Yeah, you can very much.
Yeah, you
turn it
can-
on.
And
yeah.
it makes such a big difference in presenting an idea.
Yeah. I remember when I first started, I used to like be scared that I wasn't gonna do good. Like
In general, or just,
just
during
like
a
for
set?
a set, I'd have like anxiety because I'd be like, man, this might not work. It's a new thing for me to now like. I almost never have the thought that it won't go well. If the room is bad, that's something I'll acknowledge. I'll be like, it's a bad room.
Mhm.
But I'm like, if people like, and I've bombed like a few times like this past month, and felt nothing about it. Like felt literally nothing. Nothing that I needed to do with myself or my set or whatever. I've just gone. It's not. It's not. It's. I was just given dealt like a bad card or whatever. But like, just in general, like just a stand-up show, a normal stand-up show. If I'm going up, I almost never have the fear of this could go bad, or there's no uncertainty that what I'm gonna say is not funny. Like I'm always like,
Yeah.
I know this is gonna be funny. I'm always like, there's no way they're not going to laugh at what I have to say.
That's nuts.
I'm like they like
It's like Patrice.
because it's like, yeah, because he knows, because he believes in his jokes, and he knows that they work. Like it's like when you're trying new stuff, there's that whatever. But even then, like it's just like you got. I don't know. I feel like I've progressed into like this kind of level where I'm like, of course, like everyone's capable of writing something that's not funny, but it's like if you're putting something on, if you're saying something on a show, for it to even get to that point, you have to have some like, all right, this is funny. I think this is funny, and then usually, if you are a good comedian, what you gauge as funny will work. Like,
Yeah.
Like if it's not, then there's still like a developmental thing.
Well, I think it's like a skill that you
Right.
hone is understanding what is and is
Right.
not funny.
Yeah. There's been very
Like,
few
they
times.
can build hours so much faster.
Yeah. There's been very few times where I've been wrong on that, where I've like thought something was funny but didn't really know if it was funny or not.
Mm.
That's why like if I'm running a bit, it's usually something that I'm
Yeah,
like,
dude, you make me look so bad
I I
when I run bits.
I don't think so. I just think like
Yours are like fully formed ideas that have been kind of fleshed out already.
right. There's things that I don't send though, where I'm like I would send more, but I'm like if I even have to ask if this is funny, I'm probably not gonna go with it. I'm
Yeah.
like it just has to like come and like be like a full formed kind of like concept or thought where I'm like, okay, this is the joke, whatever. If I have to like really dig to like find something funny, then I'm like, ah. If it's like this is something I want to talk about that we just talked about here was like that just getting drunk and just being really diplomatic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to make that into a bit. I'm gonna have to figure out how to make it funny, but like that's I think worth
Yeah,
you know
I agree.
yeah
As somebody who said it, I agree.
yeah.
No, yeah, I
I'm
do
taking
think
that
it's
from
funny
you.
though.
Yeah.
There are some things that you say and you're like, oh, that's. I mean, I say and I'm like, that's definitely funny,
Yeah.
but I feel like a lot of the time the circumstances are what made that funny to me,
Yeah.
and then I'm not able to recreate that for the audience,
Yeah.
which is frustrating.
Yeah. Should we end on your on that?
Probably not. Did you finish your Modelo? Yeah, we're not done. Yeah, have you seen The Gods Must Be Crazy? With a Coke bottle. The Gods Must Be Crazy.
No.
We gotta watch it. It's where like an
Dude.
African tribe gets a Coke bottle, and they use it as like it like because they like worship it. It's like the
Yeah.
end all be all tool.
Yeah. Dude, Africans are just the funniest people on earth, dude. Like Africans are so fucking funny, man. I wish they knew how funny they were, like because they they still there's still a large part of like I mean obviously Africa has like industrialized and they've got infrastructure now. They've got like like it's a fucking society, right? But there are still very like you know what's the impoverished like
Undeveloped.
underdeveloped parts of Africa that still like try.
Yeah.
Like you watch like African. I mean, I've
Oh, like the news where it's
yeah,
like, why are you gay?
yeah. Like I've told you about that. We're like, and it's funny to us because it looks like a it looks like a child put together something. It looks like a high school presentation, and we're like, this is what they're doing over there. Like, it's so funny, dude. But yeah, anytime I see like African videos on the internet, I have to watch.
They're very entertaining.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're the funniest. I love it. My parents watch African news, so I'm always in the back looking at it.
I would love to watch African news with your parents.
Yeah, dude, it's. I remember my mom, like, she watched like African news. Like, she would watch these. She would like stream it. There was like a streamer that would like stream news,
Mm.
and my mom used to watch 24/7. She'd always be commenting, and I remember one time talking to my sister, and I was like, "Yeah, mom loves that guy," and she was like, "You think mom loves him?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "No, she fucking hates him." And I was like, "Why does she watch all the time?" She was like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "What is she typing?" She's like, "Hateful stuff."
Typing?
Yeah, she would comment. My mom comments all the time.
Your mom's a hate. Your mom comments hate comments.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
My
awesome.
mom would watch and be like, "Dumb."
There's something sort of endearing and innocent about that.
Yeah,
About
I love
typing hate comments.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I love the fact that my mom's
Like
out there
that.
being like, "Yo, you're an idiot." I love that because it shows that she cares about stuff. You know what I mean?
She does care.
Like to even hate, it takes energy. So it's like you care enough. You know,
Mm.
it's kind of what it's like with politics right now. It's like people are being, ignorant about it because it's easier to digest like nothing than to digest that there's like people being wronged all over the country or whatever. But I I just really disagree with like, you know, not being informed. I think everybody should try to stay informed. It's dude.
I'm
Imagine,
incredibly
imagine
uninformed.
like slavery, dude. If there was like someone like, yeah, I know it sucks, but I just really don't want to think about it right now. You would never progress. There would never be any progression. Like, if if someone was just like, yeah, I know the world kind of sucks right now, but I just really don't want to think about it. I'm just gonna kind of do my own thing. Like, it's and it does happen, but it's just like you need some sort of
Well, I think,
resistance or
yeah, I mean, certain people are going to be the ones that do that. And then
yeah,
also, it's at the same time, it's like if you're only thinking about one or the other, it's counterproductive to whatever the other thing is.
yeah,
So if you're only obsessing over the news and what's going on, you're like not living a real life.
yeah,
But then like the inverse is also true.
yeah,
But I mean, to me, it's like I'm not informed.
yeah,
I know the bare minimum, but honestly feel like it's so easy.
yeah,
It's just like, so there are kids getting bombed.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm anti that.
yeah.
Like
Anti.
my sister always gets mad at me for not being informed,
Yeah.
and then I'm always be like, I'm on your team. Like I'll vote. I vote because. But yeah, I'm not informed. I think when I'm older, I'm gonna read the newspaper, but
No, I think I mean I
it's
get
bad
it.
right now.
Yeah, I
for
get
me.
it. I think it's so funny when you just don't know what's going on though. Like whenever I explain something terrible to someone, they're like, "When did that happen?" And I'm like,
Today.
"Now."
Yeah, currently going on.
And they're like, "Now? What?"
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I gotta get out of here.
Do you want to sign off?
My name is Sam Biru. I'm Harry's best friend.
Morkata.
Harry's my best friend.
I really enjoy how you say this out loud. I remember the first time you said that. You just like, it was kind of like we were in a relationship
And
and
I
we didn't
said,
know
"I
if we
love
were
you."
dating or not.
Yeah.
And you were just like, yeah, you're my girlfriend. And I was like, I am.
Yeah. Dude, I
You
was
just said that. One day you were just like, yeah, you're my best friend. And I was like, yeah, it's cool.
Now, yeah, this is my name's Sam Biru. Harry is my best friend.
You're gonna see us in the future
Very good guy.
in like
We're gonna
10,
do great things.
7 years.
Yeah. We don't even. That's when I know I have a good friend. Is like when I don't see them for some time.
Totally.
Like I still.
No worrying.
Yeah, I could also be mean to them.
Yeah.
Like I have no like
I call us-
awkwardness at all. I could go on a fucking 15-hour car ride with Harry and be fine. Like
Likewise.
that's how like I have no worry in the world that there's ever gonna be like an awkward interaction or whatever. You're like a brother. So.
Damn. You're doing it. You look good too.
Yeah, no, for real though. I genuinely like every time I think about, you know, what who I'm close with here and stuff like that, like I am like Harry is like a brother to me. But yeah.
Yeah. I like how you can just call me and within 2 seconds just be like, all right, let's run bits.
Yeah, yeah. It's no like it's good. Like I'm lucky to have that here because I think a lot of people like I think that's just a good thing to have and I don't think a lot of people have it. So I'm very very grateful for it. And yeah, I mean in terms of comedy, I don't really have anything to plug. So if you guys are in Chicago and you guys want to watch a show, I run a weekly show called Best Night Ever at 8 p.m. at the Lincoln Lodge on Tuesdays. And I run a show called Limelight that's also at the Lodge. But the schedules.
Go to the lodge.
Go to the Lodge, you'll see me there.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you very much.
It's been good.